need. To get groceries, fold the laundry, help with homework, pack lunches, wash the dishes, clean the kitchen, answer emails, prep for tomorrow, schedule the doctor's appointment, pay the bills, fix the leaky faucet, plan dinner and set the table. I need time for myself.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever is appropriate for you, wherever you're tapping in from on this Wednesday, March the 4th. Welcome to the European Northern Basketball League playoffs. Yes, and we are live from Dziki, Warszawa, as they host the domestic 2026 Latvian Cup winners, Valmira Glass via in this single elimination game here in Halakolo in the Polish capital. Well, how did we get here? I'll rewind you back to August 17th in a hotel in Riga. More than 20 teams huddled up, gathered in a record-breaking event, and that's where this new format was introduced last year. 18 teams, 2 groups, but this year we've beefed up in the ENBL. 27 teams, all split across 3 pools, where Dziki, Warszawa respectfully did their damage in Pool 3, and Valmira Glass was in Pool 1. Just to give you a little bit of a context, There's 9 teams in each pool, round robin. You play each other once, and we take the 16 best teams out of the 27, and that's how we end up here with 8 matchups, 8 juicy matchups, and we kick things off tonight here in the Polish capital as we listen to the national anthem. Well, I know you can feel that in your bones, ladies and gentlemen. We are moments away from tip-off. Both of these teams raring to go. It is win and go home. So one of these teams, ENBL playoff hopes will end tonight. Second matchup between both of these teams. Faced off last year as they were in the same group, and Dziki pulled away 85-73. So Valmira does have experience playing in this building, familiar territory, as we take a look at our 3 referees of the night. Crew Chief Romania Riekar from Austria, and Bartłomiej Kuarski from Poland, and Andris Onkrogers from Latvia. We got Mr. Oskars Lucis on the 1s and 2s. He'll be taking care of the video there as you take a look at the Valmira Glass starting lineup. Payik, Tate Jones, Kos, Ate, and Dominikas. Let's flip over to the other side. Take a look at the rest of the roster there for Valmira. Has been in the ENBL since its infancy, going 0-19 his first couple of years, and then last year 6-2, making their first playoff appearance. Lost to the first round to Inter Bratislava, so they'll be looking to move on from that experience. Take a look at Dziki, the home team, the bronze medalist from last year. Their starting lineup: Vanderplas, Landruis, Darnell, Soares, and Frankovic. They will be your man up front to start this, and then you see their bench right there. Well, I know that this is the moment we all have been waiting for. 16 teams from 13 countries represent the playoffs. So we are spread around, but only 5 of those teams come in with previous playoff experience. And ironically, you're looking at 2 of them tonight. Dziki, I mentioned it before, bronze medal winners last year, going all the way to the semifinals to Inter Bratislava, going down to the Newcastle Eagles, but then against the home team, picking up that bronze medal by 2 points. Valmira Glass also getting a taste of the playoff atmosphere, and we are moments away from getting the party started in the capital. 7 p.m. local time. Again, my name is Drew Lasker, and I will take you through every single dribble. Looking forward to covering this playoffs after the drama we had last year. And if this year's playoff is any inkling of what we saw last season, then I promise you, you are in store for a ride. Well, all the talk, all the prep is done, and it's time to get to business. Both teams getting ready to go and put on a show. And the home team in the beautiful gray jerseys, Valmira, laced in black, is Vanderplas. Edge handling the ones and twos, going inside, straight to that big fella with the soft fade away. Back iron. Here's Valmira Glass getting a taste of their offense. Nice little action there, flips it back, bang, bang. And that's the way to start if you are the road team. Pajic, straight to business. It is rocking inside this building. You can feel the atmosphere. Long three ball. Here's Valmira on the races. Decide to slow things down, get organized. Flips it up, and what a bucket. What a big time bucket by Stenionis, the 23-year-old Lithuania. And the road team out the gate, 5-0. Nice play there. Dziki on the board. That'll settle a few of the nerves there. We got a loose ball foul there. Looks like it might have been on Vanderplas. Let's take a look and see. 5-2 here in the early minutes here. If you're just joining us, this is the ENBL playoffs. Win or go home. 16 teams invited to the party, and Ate back irons it. Off the ball foul there by Tate Jones. And you could just see getting his hand inside the cookie jar there as Rivaldo Sarez looks to get downhill. 5-2. And again, another off the ball foul. This time it's called on Stenionis. Both teams just checking the temperature of the referees. Referees calling it tight, not allowing the physicality here early. And Dziki gets inside, and that's a nice soft roll there by Soares. Valmira unable to answer back. Here's Dziki on the races, looking for the touchdown pass to Vanderplas, and it's incomplete. The young Lithuanian running the ones and twos for Valmira Glass. Got a mixture of young players along with old vets as well, as he sticks it from the wing and out the gate. Valmira 2 for 3 from beyond the arc, and that's what you want. Usually shooting You're not sure if it translates on the road, but so far early here today is translating for Valmira. As Dziki looks to go inside, big fella can't finish the easy touch there, but we'll stay here. Dziki going in early to Fran Ticevic. 0 for 2 from there. And Suarez unable to go 2 for 2 there. Tight ropes the baseline, and it will be Valmira's ball. So Suarez being very aggressive here out the gate. As both teams look to find their flow and try to find their rhythm here early. Crowd chanting defense. Nice action here by the road team. And nice finish there. Tate Jones getting on the board. And you can clearly see the experience of last year. Valmira playing with all types of confidence here early. Tate Jones unable to finish there. Shot clock winding down, and again, just unable to get it into Vanderplas, not creating the right angle. I put that turnover on the guard. You always want to make sure you dribble over and be patient. But that time they tried to squeeze a fastball through there, which will give Dziki its second turnover of the night. Stenosis getting inside the paint, little drop off there, nearly turns it over, goes to the floater and nothing but the bottom of it. And Dziki out the gate, and Coach Marcel Legovic calls for time. We take a look at our early highlights, and what stands out is Dziki's offense just a little clunky there. 2 for 7 out the gate, while Valmira seems very, very comfortable here early in this one. They seem to be the team that settled in the quickest. Maybe there's a little nerves there from the home team, and sometimes you get that. Whereas when you're on the road, you know it's you against the world, and you're playing with house money and you can go and be free. But sometimes having the responsibility of home court is an added pressure. Well, let's see what Dziki calls out the gate as they're down here early, but that's more like it, as Darnell Edge able to slice and dice his way down the middle, and that's the way to raise that field goal percentage there. Valmira, a great look there from Vernus Coles, but he can't finish, and they can't finish the offensive rebound either. Let's see if Dziki has a little momentum here. Edge. Vanderplas gets the defender in the air, drive, kick, corner, pocket, count it. And that's when he's at his best, when he has his feet set. Suarez is one of the best scorers we have in the league, but Valmira answering right back. Wasting no time. Here's Edge going inside, back to the big fella, gets his first bucket of the night. Great touch there by Frankovic. Both teams out of that timeout, specifically Dziki looking a little bit more settled now. And again, the ability to just get whatever they want. It feels a little bit easy for Valmira, so you would like to see Dziki turn up the notch defensively. And I got an opportunity to watch them live early in the season against the Newcastle Eagles, and one thing that stood out to me about Dziki was their length, their athleticism, and their aggressiveness defensively. See if they can turn it up here a notch. That's Coles. Short. Well, Chavez from the left corner there, and all of a sudden Dziki with back-to-back 3 balls. Locking things back up at 14 here. Valmira, Ate unable to answer back. Looked like one of the Dziki players took something to the nose, but it didn't seem to stop Vander Plas's flow as he goes inside and muscles himself a bucket, and he'll go to the free throw line for the bonus. That's Tate Jones, excuse me, picks up his first foul of the evening. Well, Ben Vander Plas, the 27-year-old American in his 3rd season pro, last year in Sweden, 20 points a game. So he is definitely a bucket, but unfortunately only 60% from the free throw line as he misses the and one opportunity. 16-14, 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter in the ENBL playoffs. Valmira again unable to open it up from outside. Here's Chavez. And big time bucket there by Kaminsky. As he gets his first points of the evening. Dziki going 3 for their last 3 from beyond the arc, and just like that, says Andrew Packer. And right back at you on the other end, Kaminsky with back-to-back 3 balls off the bench in less than a minute. Starting to get on a heater. Both teams going back and forth from beyond the arc. Kaminsky picks up his first foul of the evening. That is Dziki's first foul, so it would be on the floor. And a lot of that has to do with Valmira settling for a lot of threes, and that's just a little bit too easy as Werner's Cole smokes, Ozor, excuse me, smokes the lay. And that's just a big time finish there by Horton. We know he can light it up. Things starting to pick up here. Home team with the momentum, and that's a great cut. Chavez. Dziki with a 5-point lead here in the first, and Kaminsky looking to triple up from beyond the arc, but short there. But Harden is able to draw a foul there as he You see it there, trying to attack the offensive glass, and just Davis Ozors picking up his first foul. Fourth team foul on Valmira, so any foul here on, we'll see Dziki head to the free throw line. Chavez trying to drop it inside. Just a little miscommunication there. Another beautiful, timely cut. And that's 2 consecutive possessions where we've seen Packer making timely cuts and showing off a little bit of the unselfishness, dropping it off to the big fella. Nice pocket pass there, taking a contact. Great verticality there from Pajic. Great defense from Valmira, getting their stop. On ball foul on Chavez. Dziki's second team foul. And we will call for time. Since that last timeout, Dziki was 2 for 7 from the field. Since then, they have gone 10 for 18. So I talked about it earlier. Offense has just picked up just a little bit there. You see it there, Chavez answering from the corner, and it was this guy right here, straight off the bench. Kaminsky, back-to-back triples, and it was the bench getting it done for Dziki. 9 bench points so far this afternoon, and that is the difference in this one. Again, a lot of juicy matchups here in the playoffs. Both of these teams, as you see a loose ball foul there, will play the winner out of the number 2 seed, Iraklis BC out of Greece versus Tauteka Alexia. That game next Wednesday, 7:45 local time. Team fouls for the home team, and that will send Stenosis to the line for 2. The 23-year-old Lithuanian point guard, 15.6 assists in the ENBL this season. Spent 6 years playing in Lithuania before joining Valmira over the summer, and just has really made an impact. As you see it there, and he will go and take a break. Great start to his afternoon. 9 points personal. Less than halfway to his season average. Well, final 30 seconds here in the first quarter. Both teams going back and forth. Here's Horton, skip pass. Catch and shoot opportunity for Dziki, but he is fouled, and that's one thing that any coach across the world will be annoyed with, is never foul the shooter. And that will send Rivaldo Soares to the line. And you can see why Dziki has long closeouts here on Soares, because he's shooting 41% this year in the ENBL, to go along with 11 points and 5 rebounds. A 26-year-old American in his second season professionally. Played in Germany last year whilst playing his college ball for the Oregon Ducks and Oklahoma Sooners. Splitting the first two. One more to go. 77% from the free throw line so far this season, but beyond the arc is where he gets busy. An opportunity to add to this 2-point lead. So he will go and have a seat. And Mihal Alexandrovich will get his first action of the afternoon. 17 seconds remaining in the quarter. Shot clock turned off. Valmira can hold for the last and final shot here in the quarter. Well, that's not how you want to end a quarter there with a turnover. And it looked like they were trying to take a foul there. Nothing called, and that's how things will wrap up here in the first quarter. As Dziki, the home team, 26, Valmira Glass, 23. There's no better time than playoffs. And tap into the chat. Let us know where you're tapping in, tuning in from today. Throw a flag in there so we know what part of the world you're representing today, because the ENBL is all about diversity. I mentioned it before. 16 teams in the playoffs representing 13 countries: Germany, Greece, Romania, Croatia, the United Kingdom, Iceland, Poland, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Latvia, Kosovo, Slovakia, and Estonia. So we got teams representing from all over, but this is the first time we've had teams from Greece, Croatia, Iceland, and the Netherlands in the postseason. And again, this is the ENBL.
It's too early. The bed is so warm. My body feels sore. But excuses won't sculpt my future. It's time to rise. Strength isn't found in the comfort zone. It's built through the challenges, where you're reaching for your potential, pushing past limits and reaching new heights. I've found my strength. Now it's your turn. My Fitness, world-class gym and studios.
Second quarter underway in round number one in the ENBL playoffs. We are live from the Polish capital, Dziki, Warszawa, the 10th seed, hosting the 10th seed Valmira Glass. I mentioned it before, making their first playoff appearance last season, and you can definitely see the experience paying dividends, because since the opening tip, they have come out confident and aggressive, specifically their lead man, Dominikas Stenosis, the 23-year-old. 85% from the free throw line this season. Splits the free throw, but gets his own rebound back. Valmira with an opportunity to tie it, and he does. Big time bucket there by Omar Pajic. Well, Valmira will have an opportunity to regain the lead. 26-year-old from Bosnia in his 8th season pro. Averaging 12 points a game, 6 rebounds in the ENBL this season, and back-to-back missed free throws by Valmira. Will that come back to hunt him? Stay tuned. Well, it was that bench that really got things going for the home team because it was plays like that from the starters. They just don't look comfortable, just clunky offensively. And that bench really came in and brought in some energy as great defense there by Kempa. Nice timely block there. Says get that out of here. Both teams reaching into the bench. Nicely suited with depth on both sides. Packer off the mark. And here's the game changer. Kaminsky getting it done inside and outside. Has been an absolute game changer here so far today. 8 points personal. The lead back up to 2. Nice pass inside. Gets his pockets picked by Horton. Here's Horton. Hangs. Roly-poly. What a finish. Big time finish there from Landrews Horton. Let's take another look at this. Takes the contact, hangs, rolls it up, and says, and one. Beautiful lay there. He's primary ball handler for the home team, the 27-year-old American. In his 4th season pro. Done his work in Cyprus and Sweden and throughout his career. 85% from the free throw line. Horton is one of those guys that can turn it up. 35 points in his ENBL debut earlier this year against Rigazelli. 6'12" from beyond the arc. Lane violation there on the road team, and Horton's able to capitalize on the and one opportunity. Dziki up 5. Both teams sparring, going back and forth in this entertaining first half. Here's Ate running out of space. Finds the open man. And Valmira just going a little bit cold from beyond the arc, but Ate able to give them another opportunity as they go inside to Tate Jones. 2-3 zone by the home team, and somehow Tate Jones able to find some loose change. Can't finish it. The easy bunny there. And Dziki coming up with the loose ball. Here's Horton. This time steps from behind the arc. Can't capitalize. Spinosa's going inside. Ajic handing it off. Spinosa's way too strong. Gambling in the backcourt. And he pays for it. As Chavez hits his second 3 of the game. 6 points personal. A nice, beautiful finish there by the young fella, the quiet. The crowd has just been a pain in the home team's backside. 12 points so far this evening. Horton finds his mismatch. Blow by. Easy. Finds the man of the hour. There goes that man, the money man, Kaminsky. 3 tray balls this evening to give him 11 points, and Valmira will call for time as they see their biggest deficit of the evening. Just Horton able to get that mismatch and get a paint touch. But look at that off-ball movement there from Kaminsky. Valmira finds themselves in a little bit of a pickle here. And how will they respond to the adversity on the road? You know a team is always going to go on a run, but you're told to bend, not break. And that's the play right there, gambling in the backcourt, which gave the home team back-to-back threes. Stenosis just showing his youth there. But the story of the afternoon is Dziki's bench really stepping up here tonight. 17 points off the bench, while Valmira only 5. Again, Valmira just ice cold from outside as Pajic gets an over the back call, which will be his 3rd foul. Wow. Well, you have to assume that he will go take a seat. You will not see him for the rest of the quarter. On cue. A huge miss for the road team, but beyond the arc, 3 for 11. As they continue to struggle from outside, have gone ice cold after making their first 2. Meanwhile, Dziki's starting to settle in. Starting with this fella here, Horton. Again, got the mismatch, dances around the defense, and nice little squeeze finish there by Horton. This is a huge 5 minutes from Valmira. Again, they go cold, missed their last 6 or 7 from outside. Drive, kick, out the Vanderplas. And this place would have erupted. Valmira dodging a bullet here. Valmira just been one-dimensional offensively. Only Stenosis has only been able to get their offense going as an errant pass there by Ate throws it into trouble. As Coles takes a foul to stop some of this momentum. Right now, after starting this game out pretty comfortably, Valmira's gone ice cold. And 0 fast break points, so not able to take advantage of turnovers. Meanwhile, Dziki muscling inside, showing the versatility offensively, getting it done inside and outside, and a beautiful big time bucket there by Stenosis. Mismatch inside, and that's just too easy. Dziki doing a great job of drawing in the mismatches, and I'm not too sure about that shot there. Again, Valmira just really struggling for offense as Coase draws a foul. You can see Flash just getting into Coase's airspace there. As we see Ozor's return. As Vanderplas picks up his first foul of the evening. 43-30 as we enter the first 15 minutes of the ENBL playoffs. Coming live from the Polish capital. Valmira, after starting off hot, has gone ice cold, and the offensive struggles continues. And another missed opportunity from outside. And this vividly reminds me of their playoff matchup last year against Inter Bratislava, where they just could not buy anything from outside. And as Dziki's offense has got going, they have started to squeeze the vice grips defensively, similar to what I saw in person earlier this season. Talik Chavez, in his second season professionally, 22 points a game in Sweden last year. Made the shift over to Poland, where he's taken a lesser role, but a more efficient, impactful role here this season for Dziki, as they have their biggest lead of the afternoon now, 14 points. If you're Valmira, you just want to chip away at this lead. Just get it within single figures going inside the half. And that will do big time bucket there to stop the bleeding. Chavez unable to unload from outside. Here's an opportunity for Valmira. Touchdown! As Packers able to deliver Valmira's first fast break point of the evening, and they might be on to something, an opportunity to bring it within single digits. Mismatch inside, and holding foul there on Chavez. But what a response by Valmira. It looks like this game was getting away from him, but with back-to-back stops defensively, and that's what you want to do when you're on the road, because your offense, it comes and goes. The only way that Valmira is going to be able to upset Dziki here at home is by getting stops. And hopefully their offense will show up. Great hands there by Darnell Edge. Be a sideline out of bounds. 11 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 2:45 in the second quarter. Dziki with a 10-point lead. Tate Jones able to draw a foul there. But you see Suarez just getting his hands there. All he had to do was just be disciplined, keep your hands high, have the offensive player finish over you, but instead you send Tate Jones to the free throw line. He's had a monster season in the ENBL, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists a game. 70% from the free throw line, but the New Zealand international out of UC San Diego, Big West Player of the Year last year. It is translating to the professional ranks as he's having a terrific rookie season. Able to shrink the lead to 9, and this is what I always talk about, finishing quarters, last 2:30. Who will win these final 2:30 minutes? Because in the playoffs, it's about containing runs and it's about maximizing momentum. We'll go into the half with momentum. So far as Valmira, as they're on a 5-0 run, as Edge is blocked. Great defense as Valmira has gotten back-to-back stops, and that's how you reward great defense. Packer getting it done defensively, getting a tip on a 3-ball, and then getting the early position inside. What a response from Valmira. And that will cause us to pause as Marko Legovic wants to talk things over. I'm sure the fans there in Latvia, we know that fan base there for Valmiera Glass. A couple of them traveling on the road, but they love the response from their team. Down by as many as 14 points and currently on a 7-0 run, looking to make it 8. But it was exactly what I touched upon. Ice cold from beyond the arc, 3 for 16. Shooting doesn't always travel, but what travels? Defense. And then turning that defense into offense. On their biggest run of the evening, Packer, a veteran, a 34-year-old American in his 12th pro season, bringing experience to the table. Another missed free throw by Valmira. 4 for 8, 50% from the free throw line. Final 2 minutes here in the second quarter. Here's Horton, looking to shake and bake, spins off. Of stenosis and that will be his second foul. Valmira already dealing with foul issues on the other end as Pajic has 3. Both teams leaving a little money on the table from the free throw line. Gordon, terrific there so far in the ENBL, 85%. But we know the playoffs is an entirely different beast. He capitalizes on the second. Final 140 here. Dziki with an 8-point lead. Stenosis dancing. Ball screen action. Gets the mismatch inside. They've been attacking it all night, specifically with this fella here. Packer again answering the bell. Puts himself into double figures. And that will stop the bleeding as the big fella gets a long-awaited field goal there, but then picking up the foul on the other end. Werner's Kos. 17 points a game in the ENBL. Quiet here tonight. Only 2 points, 1 for 5. But that's a way to get your confidence. It's from the free throw line. 80% so far this season. Just a nice big 6'7" frame. Does a great job of moving off the ball, but specifically creates gravity with the shooting for his size. Had a big-time game in his final ENBL of the regular season, 28 points against Alkmaar, where he went 7 for 11 from downtown. With 3 possessions left in this half, Dziki up 6. I talked about who would win the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, it's Valmira who finds themselves clawing back, looking for another stop. That's not a guy you want to leave open, as Valmira dodges a bullet and Edge unable to capitalize on the offensive rebound. And for the lack of shooting from the outside for Valmira, where they've gone a whopping 3 for 16. It's been inside the paint. 22 points where they've made a living at. They are seeking out those mismatches and making Dziki pay inside. Werner's Kos returning back to the free throw line. Splits the two. Here's Horton slicing and dicing himself inside. And he has just been able to get downhill all evening, showing off that first step. That bucket there will take him to double figures with an opportunity to add. Valmira with an opportunity to hold for the final shot here in the half. 8-point deficit, looking to eat inside of it, but I think if you're Valmira, you gotta be pleased of where you are, because it could have been a lot worse a couple of minutes ago when they were down 14. But I mentioned you just want to get yourself within single digits going into the half, and unless something catastrophic happens here, job done. Stenosis able to draw a foul, and that looked perfectly timed because that felt in the act of shooting. But it's irrelevant because it is team fouls, and that is just a silly foul on Dziki, just sending Stenosis to the free throw line. But maybe a strategy, because so far this evening, Valmira is really struggling. 7 for 13. That is the difference here. This evening, Stenosis with 2 fouls will go have a seat. Great coaching there. Don't want him to pick up his 3rd foul going into the half. I'm getting it to Horton and letting him get downhill and see if he can put pressure on the defense and draw a foul. It looks like they will do just that. Great job getting it out of his hands. And big time bucket there by Kaminsky. 7:30 local time, but the bank is always open, and that's how the first half will wrap up. Take another look at this beauty. He has come off the bench with the hot hand. Referee's taking a look, but I think there's no doubt about it. Kaminsky coming off the bench, providing that spark. Go to our chief crew, Romana Ricard, checking things out. That would be a huge turn of events here. From my view, it looked like it was good and on time, but this is a huge decision here. I mentioned it was job done for Valmira. You got into single figures, but this would push the lead back up to 10 before the half. Everyone in the building waiting patiently. Looks like the referees have made a decision. And count the bucket. Kaminsky getting it done at the buzzer, and Dziki will head to the half with a 10-point lead. Take another look. And that's just a big-time play by a big-time player, Kaminsky. 4 triples on the night, 14 points. Take a bow. And we will pause for half. Welcome yourself back to Halakola in the Polish capital, live for the ENBL playoffs. The 2025 bronze medalists, winners Dziki Warszawa, hosting the 2026 domestic Latvian Cup winners Valmira Glass, picking up their first ever cup in franchise history. Just a big moment for them. A couple of weeks ago, we have a great game and second half in store for you. If you're just joining us, I'm your commentator, Drew Lasker. I will be on the ones and twos all playoffs for the ENBL. Really excited about the drama that is before us. I mentioned earlier, to represent where you tuning in from in the comments, had an opportunity to look through. We got people representing from New Zealand. Wow. New Zealand in the house. We also got next round's opponents tuned in, Heracles. Make sure you check those guys out. They will be taking on Tech Alexia next Wednesday, 7:45 local time. Love all the flags I'm seeing in the comments. Just help me out. Just put exactly where you're from, because I wouldn't say I'm that educated to know exactly where each flag is from. But I love what the ENBL has done over the last couple years and how they have grown. Again, I mentioned it at the top. Only 18 teams in this competition last year, but this is a league that is continuing to grow. 27 teams that are split off into 3 pools, where each team played a round robin, 8 games, and that's how we end up with the best 16 teams representing for the ENBL playoffs. Of those teams coming from 13 different countries. You see the versatility we have in the European Northern Basketball League playoffs. 5 of those teams with previous playoff experience, so a lot of rookies for both of these teams tonight. Two out of 5 teams that come in with experience. Dziki going all the way to the semifinals, losing to the Newcastle Eagles last season. And Valmira going down to ENBLeague, the Final Four host. Well, this first round playoff kicks off tonight, and it will heat back up next week as we have a triple header on Tuesday, March 10th, and then followed on the Wednesday. We have another triple header, and then it will conclude on Thursday, March the 12th. And a lot of our questions will be answered. And we will turn our focus to the quarterfinals, which will be played from March 17th through April 2nd. Competition changes a little bit. It'll be a home and away series. And then out of those 8 teams, we will take the 4 best teams to the Final Four, where the dates and the location will be confirmed. Historically, one of the teams in the Final Four hosts the competition. So last year, ENBLeague, the best team throughout the competition, made it to the Final Four. They hosted, but CSO Voluntari played spoiler after runner-up the previous year, ended up taking the title off the Newcastle Eagles last year. Well, minutes away from the second half, story of the game, Valmira coming out really confident, aggressively, early start to this one, but then they really cooled down from downtown. 3 for 16. Valmira was able to get the momentum to push the lead up to 14 It was all about that bench where they got 21 points, 14 of those coming from Kaminsky, the rest of the 7 coming from Chavez. But Kaminsky just coming in, being that game changer. Really caught my eye when I watched him live in Newcastle earlier this season. And he has the ability to mix it up inside and outside, but also Horton with 11 points. 2 guys with the home team in double figures as we flip over to the traveling squad. 2 guys in double figures as well. Packer getting it done with 11 off the bench. But in Stenosis, already at his season average, 15 points. You would like to see their leading scorer, Furnace Coles, get going. 0 for 3 from downtown, only 5 points. Also, Artis Ate with the goose egg at the half. So let's see what adjustments both of these teams will be making 20 minutes away from booking their ticket to the quarterfinals, where they will play a home and away out of the winner of the Rockley's BC team out of Greece, as they host Taltech Alexia next week, team out of Estonia, specifically on they set 5 local time. I'm sure most of you will be locked in for that. We see a couple of the Rockies already doing their homework, scouting out the place, seeing who they could potentially be matched up with next round. We know in the playoffs anything can happen. They've had a terrific ENBL regular season, but it's the playoffs, baby. Crazier things have happened. Moments away from the second half. And will Dziki be able to punch their ticket to the next round? Last year, they saw themselves as an underdog coming into this competition. But on March 5th, 2025 marked the biggest upset in ENBL playoffs history as the lower seed Warszawa home team chanting defense. And that's how you want to get things started if you're Valmira. Well, here's the big fella. That's more like it for Vanderplast. That's such a great season this year. Quiet tonight, but we know we can turn it on at any moment. And speaking of that, Stenosis has just been able to get inside, 10 toes down in the paint, possession after possession, and he will go back to the free throw line. What a bright future this young fella has. Only 23 years old. Really making noise in the ENBL this season, the Lithuanian. Not only in the ENBL, but domestically as well. 15.7 assists in the Latvia Domestics League. Valmira back-to-back possessions, putting points on the boards, but it's going to be about this side of the court defensively. Getting stopped. Mismatch inside. Nice skip pass, and Horton bringing the house down with the hammer. Wow, Horton getting everybody out of their seats with that big time jam. Dziki, step through, great footwork, can't finish. Skip pass, corner pocket, knocks it down. Horton's on a heater. Horton really picking things up, team and game high, 16 points. And then picking the pockets there on the weak side. 3-on-1 opportunity, throws it up. And that didn't go as planned, but a 3-on-2 coming back, huge possession. Valmira must take advantage. Great job getting back, but a great take foul as well, as that will be on the floor, as it looks as though Werner Kolz was looking to pass a Pyatt, excuse me. Didn't look like he was attempting a shot at the basket there. Let's take a look here. Was the referee's interpretation there, and it is a baseline out of bounds. Easy inside possession, and this time it's Tate Jones who turns it over. The New Zealand, with several fans in the chat supporting them tonight. But a costly turnover as Dziki with a 13-point lead. Double drag action here by the home team. Going inside, mismatch, big fella, lunch money. Give me that. Quick timeout by Valmira. Timeout here in the Polish capital as Dziki holding the momentum out of the break, and Valmira off to a fast start themselves, but unable to get stops, as it feels as though Gordon, along with the support of Kaminsky, really doing a lot of the heavy lifting offensively for the home team. Talked about the potential of Horton, 35 points against Grigazelli earlier this season, so we know he can get it done. But this is a huge couple of minutes for Valmira. They can find themselves in a little bit of a predicament. A little bit of party poppers on the floor. Home team celebrating early. But is it the foreshadowing of what's to come in this final 18 minutes? But the fans in Latvia, I'm sure, beg to disagree. 62-47, 7:45 here in the third quarter. NBL first round playoffs. Pyatt, Stenosis, kickball by Chavez. A nice little finish there. Need stops. Starting here. See how they guard this action. Chavez, offensive foul. Easy call by our referee crew there. You can just see him shuffle the feet there. You must have a wide base and have those feet planted in cement, because over the last couple of years, the referees have really made an emphasis those type of plays. Well, here's an opportunity here for Valmira. Ate laces it up from beyond the arc, and that will end the cold streak from downtown. As I don't have the stat, but it was easily 10 consecutive missed threes for Valmira, finally getting it done. 5-0 run looking to add here. And a costly turnover there as Ate shooting it before he received the ball. We've all been there before. You hit one, you're so antsy for that next opportunity that you take your eyes off the ball. Here's Chavez. Vanderplas. They've done a great job on him tonight. Soares. Valmira back-to-back stops. Can't finish. Loose ball. And that's more like it. Werner's Cole's cleaning up the dirty dishes inside. Back within single digits. Nice, strong, tough finish there in the paint by Dziki, answering back. Cuffs it. Tate Jones, you can see it in his eyes, just a man on a mission since that early turnover, just a little bit more aggressive offensively the last couple of times he's had possession of the ball. Nua, Tate Jones out of New Zealand. Again, I mentioned it before. Taking his talents all the way to San Diego, beautiful part of the world. And coming away with the big boy prize, player of the year, Big West player of the year. Parlaying that into a professional career where he's gotten off to a great start. Last 3 games in the ENBL, averaging 21 points a game, so you can see why he's looking to turn it up a notch. But the free throw woes continue for Valmira and the rookie. Vanderplas and downhill, tries to drop it off in a turnover, and just the offense of Dziki just looking a little bit clunky. I wonder if you Legovic, if you go back to Horton or Kaminsky, as those two guys have been really the ones answering the bell offensively. Man down, great help side defense there by Horton. And big time corner 3 ball there. Just like the doctor ordered. Stenosis, 20 points tonight. Looking like a veteran. 6-point lead by Dziki. Here's Horton. Dances clean, gets inside, flips it up, can't finish. Loose ball foul there on Valmira. Struggling to close out Odi Oguama, who's been quiet tonight. Only 2 points, but I stay quiet, but he's had 6 assists. Or 6 rebounds, excuse me. Baseline out of bounds, the home team. As we enter 5-minute mark, can't leave Horton open. Can't go back to back. This is a huge possession by Valmira. If they can get a stop here, they can make things very interesting. But Horton stepping around the defense like a tap dancer. Horton with 18. Crowd chant defense. Stenosis been pulling the strings all evening. And that's just what he has just been a pest. And he count the bucket, says the referee. And stenosis, just a constant headache for Dziki's defense. And I wonder if they could do a better job there of getting a body in front instead of guarding him so closely. Maybe look at going underneath those screens because, well, I say that he's 2 for 4 from downtown. And this will be his 9th and 10th free throw of the evening. So, I mean, there's nothing you can actually do with him because he is deep in his bag this evening, single-handedly keeping Valmira in this one. Knocks down both. Back to a 6-point lead. Can they get a stop? They have had a hard time guarding Horton. Great ball movement there. Seoris. Have that one back. 41 3-point shooter and another foul. And this will send Stenosis back to the free throw line as they are in the bonus. Valmira for the rest of the quarter. That will make things really interesting here as we get to the meat and potatoes of this matchup. After starting off slow, Stenosis really starting to find his groove from the free throw line. 9 for 11. They would chalk that up as a commentator's curse. 5-point lead, pocket pass opportunity, kick ball. There on Packer. Stenosis will go and get a breather. You would assume that he will sit the rest of this quarter to look to have some gas in the tank for the final 10 minutes, money time in this playoff matchup. Horton, 14 on the clock. Vanderplas going inside. Odie sees a crowd. Chavez knocks it down. And Chavez, along with Kaminsky, have been terrific here tonight. Here's an opportunity. Chavez. Stop and go action, gets inside, and it drops for Chavez. Talik getting it done. Look at that little stop and go. Just gives the defense just to pause for a split second, then he turns on the burners. And just like that, Valmira knocking on the door, but Dziki again, the bench, answering the bell. Chavez with the 5-0 run on his own since he's unable to capitalize on the free throw there. Final 3 minutes in the third quarter as Valmira sticks it. What an answer. Chavez. Great recovery there from Coast. Kaminsky squirms himself around in the paint. That first step, he's a problem. He is a problem child. Straight up bucket front off the bench. Give me that! Wow! What a block. Let's take another look at that. as Odie says, I'm going window shopping. Coming from the help side, wiping that off the glass. Big time defensive play by Oguama. That's great defense right there. Easy call. Great footwork. Just textbook defensively there. Feet set out the semicircle, just a veteran, Werner's coast. And those are the type of plays that makes the difference. Back-to-back defensive plays from both teams. Oh, great step through, can't finish though. Easy travel call on Packer. Had his luggage ready to head back to Latvia on that play there. 73-64, Dziki Warszawa with a 9-point lead, 1:45 remaining here in the third quarter. Winner heading to the quarterfinals, and Oklahoma going skydiving. Wow. Showing you he can get it done on both ends. Valmira turning it over. A nice little take foul there from the road team, but Oguama getting it done on the weak side defensively. But then how about the big fella running the floor and bringing the house down with the alley-oop. Really stepping up late in this second quarter. An 11-point lead. Kaminsky off in the corner. Loose ball foul on Stenosis, as you guessed it, Oguama. Causing all kind of issues in this one. Already with 8 rebounds, and that will send him to the line for 2. If there's any flaw in this game, it would be the free throw line. 46% with a 26-year-old American, but hey, when you're rolling, you're rolling. Rookie really showing off that athleticism. 10.7 rebounds a game in the ENBL. Playing his college ball in Wake Forest and then moving off to Cincinnati. And how about that? Knocking down both free throws to give the home team a 13-point lead. Final minute here in the capital. Stenosis. Off-ball foul here. That foul will send Andrew Packer back to the free throw line. And I've said it and I'll say it again. Can Valmira just get this down to 10, 9, single digits, heading into money time? Well, big free throws there by the big fella, but this is where you gotta get it done. They need a stop. Here's Kaminsky. Catch and shoot opportunity, and there goes your stop. Huge possession here offensively. Can you get a bucket before the curtains close in the third quarter? Nice little spin around. What a move! What a move by Tate Jones. Putting the defense in the spin cycle. Lead down the 9, final 10 seconds. Here's Edge. Spinning around, getting inside, loses it. A little bit too much sauce on that burger for Darnell Edge. In finishing quarters, what I've talked about all evening, Valmira continues to knock on that door. 5 seconds, enough time to go coast to coast. Stenosis coming back in. You ain't got enough time for all of that. Got to make something happen quick from the half-court line, and that's how we will wrap the third quarter up here in Dziki, Warszawa. 9-point deficit for Valmira Glass as we enter the fourth and final quarter. Here's your highlights in the third quarter. Both teams going back and forth, sparring with one another. Not much separation there. Valmira winning that quarter by 1, 25-24. Your leading scores, Horton 18, Dziki. Kaminsky following behind with 16, but then for Valmira has been about the 23-year-old Lithuanian. Stenosis 23. Packer right behind him with 13. Tate Jones just with that move right there getting a double figures. Welcome back to Money Time. One of these teams' season ends here in the next 10 minutes. Who will it be? Will Valmira have back-to-back seasons going out in the first round, or will Dziki look to build on last year's bronze medal? A lot of questions, but in 10 minutes, we'll have the answer. Can Valmira make one last push? Let the games begin. Valmira out the gate offensively. Action for Tate Jones, gets inside, slithers himself inside the paint. And you can see the confidence building from the rookie after the slow start here tonight. This is where you got to make it count. 70% from the free throw line on the season, 2 for 4 tonight. 8 points left on the table for Valmira, 16 for 24 from the charity stripe, and the woes continue. Really beginning to cost the road team. Lead at 8. Edge. Double drag. Flips it in. Great action. Oguama showing off the hang time. I mean, his athleticism is just oozing off the screen. Terrific game off the bench, where the bench has paid dividends for the home team tonight. Going back inside to Tate Jones, sees a double, gets gobbled up, turns it over, and a take foul. And Tate Jones just, you can see the youth here tonight. He's had a terrific season in the competition, but You know, there is a learning process that you must go through as a professional, and tonight Tate Jones is really experiencing that. Dziki with the same action as before. Last time they got Oguama at the rim. He rolls again. They go back inside. This time, Patient gets his pockets picked. Nice move by Tate Jones. Who? But can't finish it. Tate Jones would love to have that one back. Coast to coast, but coming up empty. 79-71. Here's Edge. Nice ball movement. Kaminsky. Fifth free ball of the evening. Has been on a heater since the very start. Nice driving kick action. Valmira can't respond. Picks up the loose ball. Spinosa's back in the paint. Drives, kick, three ball, corner pocket. Count it. Job by Coast to answer back. I'm not sure about that possession there for Suarez. We haven't seen those type of shot attempts here this evening. But Valmira, just the three-point woes continue. It hurt them last year against Voluntari. Here's Edge. Driving kick action, three ball, and it drops. The lovely touch of Alexandri. Looking to answer back. Ate says take that. Both teams leaving it all out there. Nearly stolen their Edge. 12 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Ball screen action with Oguama. Here's the man of the hour. Kaminsky smokes the layup. On the clock. Here's Edge going back inside. Oguama skip pass. Kaminsky, 3 seconds on the clock. And Valmira with a great stop. Down 8. Pitch ahead. Inside. Holding on the floor. Great steal there by Tate Jones. .629 remains. Well, referees are trying to work out a technical issue here, and that serves well for Tate Jones because it looked earlier before that he was a little winded. Well, both teams will head back to the benches as they try to work the issue out. Not quite sure exactly where the issue lies. They're going to take a look at this. I believe maybe an intentional foul because it looked like they wrapped Tate Jones around the waist. Let's take a look. This is a huge call. I'm not sure, in my opinion, if that would be an intentional foul. Both players were kind of jockeying for position, but Chief Crew Romena Ricard has it covered. That's what you love about this competition, the opportunity to go back to the screen and get these calls right. And it's just a normal foul there on Kaminsky, and everyone can breathe. And that will be a baseline out of bounds because it was on the floor. Well, 6:29 remaining. Does Valmira have one last punch left in their arsenal? Ate just continues to struggle here tonight. 2 for 6 from the field. Horton. Big fella can't finish it. Valmira is gobbling up stops here. And that's not the best option, but luckily Valmira able to pick up an offensive rebound, and nice finish there by Tate Jones. Despite the struggles from the rookie, has just continued to play hard and being rewarded. And just like that, the lead is down to 6. Offensive rebounds from Valmira. Only 4 second chance points, so it's not necessarily costing. Well, 11 second chance points, excuse me. Looking at the wrong team, but 13 offensive rebounds, 11 second chance points. So that has been the equalizer, because beyond the arc, they're only 8 for 25 here this evening. Well, you got to give it up for the road team that's played extremely hard this evening, has responded to every single run here tonight. But if they're going to make a move, it has to be now. Foul call on Vitos. Edge. Over the top. Ball loose. Horton coming up with it. Got to make it happen. A little shake and bake with the left hand. Snatch back. Clock at 2. Spins around. Out of space. And great defense there by Valmira. They get their stop. Terrific half-court defense. Huge possession here. Looking to go inside to the mismatch. Heavily defended there. Vitos turns it over. Missed opportunity there. Horton. And again, another foul by Vitos. Just a great job by Horton as he came off that screen. Just slowed down just a little bit as he recognized the defense was moving full speed, and he just ran in the back of him. Well, if you're tuning in, make sure to show some love on social media and make sure you're hashtagging at the ENBLeague. Final 5 minutes of round 1, and nice little slice and dice from Soares. Lead back up to 8. And that's probably his easiest basket of the evening. Vitos able to walk downhill. Back inside. Great ball movement. Edge looking for his first 3 ball of the, and hot. Horton skying up for that rebound. Drive kick. Nice ball movement here. Step through. And great ball movement from Dziki. Every man on the floor touched the ball. That's how you like to see it. Rivado Soares, 77% on the season, 11 points, 6 rebounds of the night, 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Calmly knocks down the first. And again, Horton with another offensive rebound. I mean, if Dziki is somehow able to win this game, you got to give that MVP ball to Horton or either Kaminsky. Lead back up to 9. Vitos can't finish inside. Fast break opportunity. Here's Soares stepping around the defense, and he will go back to the line. And things are just beginning to slip away for Valmira. Saw those hands come over the top of Werner's Coles. And that will send Soares back to the line. Winner out of this one, taking on Iraklis BC out of Greece as they host Talteka Alexia, team out of Estonia, next Wednesday, a week from today, 7:45, March 11th. A full slate coming at you. Make sure you subscribe to the ENBL YouTube page. Also give them a follow on social media, Instagram and X. .30 remaining. One of these teams will move on to the quarterfinals. Soares. Makes the first. Makes both, and the lead back up to 11. Valmira, if they're going to throw one last haymaker, it must be thrown now. Estenosis steps back, rims out. Dziki in full control, skip pass. Soares looking to close the door. Job getting back on defense here. Mismatch. Sees a double team. Nice skip pass. And that looked off before it left his hands for Vitos. Packers been impactful here tonight. 13 points, 7 rebounds. He's done a lot of the little things. Been consistent throughout, 5 for 8 from the field, but the free throw woes for Valmira. They've missed 10 free throws, 17 for 27. You can't put this on the ref. They've gotten their opportunity on the road, but that is literally the difference. A 10-point ball game, and they've missed 10 free throws. There's still time. You don't want to foul, as Dziki's in the bonus. Nice hook. Lovely, feathery touch by Frankovic. Look who it is. You can't question Packers' activity. He has been really consistent this evening. Foul called on the floor. 12-point deficit, 2:16 remains. Crowd looking for a stop. Stenosis been quiet here in the fourth. Hail Mary from deep. And that might do it. We enter the final 2 minutes. And Darnell Edge putting a nail in Valmira Glass's coffin. To match their biggest lead of the evening, and Valmira calls for time. That may do it. Dziki, 96 points on the board. You gotta love it. And when I reflect on this game, there's 2 plays that stick out in my mind as turning points. How about the impact off the bench for Kaminsky and hitting that Hail Mary at the end of the second quarter to take us to a 10-point lead at halftime as opposed to a 7-point single-digit lead. And then minutes ago, when Valmira was knocking on the door, down 6 with possession, and Vital's turning it over. It's a game of margin. It's a game of runs. And it's a game of moments. And speaking of moment, Dziki, 145 away from booking their ticket to the quarterfinals and possibly booking themselves a ticket to Estonia or Greece remains to be seen. That matchup next Wednesday. But we already know that there will be another home game here. Quarterfinals is home and away. As Ate continues to struggle this evening, and you can see the frustration in his demeanor. Well, if this is the end, Valmira can leave the Capitol with their heads up high, because in the last 2 seasons has really turned around their fortune in this competition. You know, they were part of the inaugural ENBL season in 21-22 and went winless, 0-19 until last year, where they finally picked up some wins, went 6-2 in the group stage, and then lost in the first round to, at the time, the best team in the competition. And then this year going 5-3 in a really tough pool 1. But again, they had their opportunities tonight, got off to a great start, but just cold from the outside. And that's where the points difference is the decider, because both of these teams were 5-3. So you got to really play these games out and not do the prototypical dribble the ball out when you got the win secured in the bag, because every point matters. And that's the reason why we're in Poland instead of Latvia today. And Edge just dribbling out some clock here in the final minute. Will drive kick opportunity there. But Oguama picking up a double-double. And that will be an over-the-back call. Or, excuse me, they were trying to box out Oguama, but he's a tank. Really difficult to deal with. Just a little mop-up duty there. Oguama, 10 rebounds, 8 points, so not quite a double-double, but incredibly impactful here tonight. He misses those two, but he made it when it counted earlier, and this one is all but done. Just playing for respect here. That sums up Berners Cole's night for Valmira. 2 possessions left here. Chavez can dribble it out and take the turnover, or he can look to get one of his young guys on the board, and it looks like they will go to that option there. Kempa, the 21-year-old Polish forward, averaging 5 points in the competition, so he's gotten a taste of the action. But these are great moments for young guys to be able to get a feel for the level, because that's what it's about. You can work in the gym, you can work at practice, but game time is just a little bit different. For example, there, that free throw, now he knows how it feels when he gets back at practice in this type of environment, playoff game. Well, that will wrap things up here in Poland, and Dziki, Warszawa. Could it be a foreshadowing of what we saw last year, where they were able to go all the way to the Final Four? Getting it done in the first round, 97-84, taking care of business. They will await their opponent 7 days from now, Iraklis BC versus Taltech Alexia. But in the meantime, they can celebrate as they book their tickets to the European Northern Basketball League quarterfinals. Really just want to give a shout out to Horton and Kaminsky off the bench. Chavez as well, chipping in with 12. As you take a look at the final stats there, and it was the 3 points in the free throws. I mean, both teams struggled from the free throw line, but it ultimately was the shooting percentage that was the difference in this game. Well, thank you for tuning in with us here in the NBL playoffs. Make sure you stay tuned. We return next Tuesday, March 10th. Back for playoff action. You can catch me in Romania as I will be handling the CSO Voluntari Sloven matchup. Donar versus Opava, along with Manchester basketball out of Great Britain going against Dubrava. And then followed up by a triple header on Wednesday the 11th as well. And the first round concludes Thursday, March 12th as Dynamo Zagreb takes on Siga Pristina. Take a look at the final highlights of this matchup, where ultimately it was just a little bit too much depth and weapons off the bench for Dziki, where they were able to get 43 bench points versus 19. And there goes the home crowd there as they show their appreciation for the home time. But in the meantime, I say good night. I'm your commentator. It's been a pleasure, Drew Lasker. And I will see you guys again next week. Take care.
It's too early. The bed is so warm. My body feels sore. But excuses won't sculpt my future. It's time to rise. Strength isn't found in the comfort zone. It's built through the challenges, where you're reaching for your potential, pushing past limits and reaching new heights. I've found my strength. Now it's your turn. My Fitness, world-class gym and studios.